What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode, Season 2, Episode 6 of the Nexus Scanning Officers, guys. Welcome to the podcast. We hope you are having a fantastic holiday season or beginning of holiday season. We are getting ready to fill our bellies and get ready for the tournaments upcoming in January. But yeah, let's do our normal hellos. So also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. We're on our way to 1,000. We have a lot more content coming in the new year. So yeah, you don't want to be missing out. Hit that bell. But yeah, Emmy, how are you doing, bud?
Yeah, great shout out, Josh. I'm doing well. I'm good. I'm happy that we are doing this final wrap up for the year. It's been a lot of fun and looking forward to more next year. But I'm doing good. I'm fresh from a store showdown, one of the first from set 3.
Yeah, I mean, I said tournaments next month, but I guess it's already started.
Next month. Huh?
You did quite well at that one, didn't you?
I did. Not the best. I didn't win, but I got second place.
I mean, that's huge, yeah.
And to be fair, yeah, it was 28 people. Maybe we can talk about. Let's talk about it in a minute. Let's first do a quick round table. Let's pass it over to Krish, who's across the pond.
Oh no, I was going to say you're allowed. It's better than the rest of us have done in the last few months. So I mean, you don't need to, you know.
Well, actually, I won my store showdown, which was just like a month ago. So
let me rephrase.
So it wasn't the best.
And in particular, better than Ollie. I think that's the main thing I really want to emphasize. It's better than Ollie.
Old Krish is back. Now I remember what it's like.
That was number one op.
Christmas is here. The Grinch is back. Let's go.
No, I'm great. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of traveling recently. Yeah, so I haven't been on the pod for the last like 1 or 2, I think, just because my travel schedule's been totally screwed. I was in Utah last week for a convention for Dragonsteel 2024, Dragonsteel Nexus. Any Brandon Sanderson fans out there? Sound off in the comments.
I mean, if it's got Nexus in its name, it's gonna be good. Like my missus loves Brandon Sanderson as well. To be fair,
well, there you go. You don't deserve her.
Yeah, I don't. It's true.
It's a trait I share with you. But yeah, I think it's been good. I'm now at my wife's place in Michigan. We're here for Christmas with her family, so that's going to be good fun.
Beautiful.
As the most depressing part of this entire season is I haven't played Star Wars in like 3 weeks.
No.
Actually, that's a lie. I think I played Star Wars like in Utah. I played it like a week and a half ago. It just feels like 3 weeks. I just want to turn my wacky little cards sideways, and I miss it. But I'm excited to jump into next year and excited to catch up with the lads and
jump into live stream.
Yeah, Ollie, what have you been up to? How you doing?
Online Krish, I've been grinding Carabas pretty much every day because there's so many decks that I've been enjoying right now.
Is that how badly you need the practice?
Come on, man! I actually won a Discord league, guys. I won a Discord.
You won a Discord league. Nice.
Yeah. Let's get the hype in the chat.
Won a Carabas game. I actually won a Carabas locals.
Oh my god.
Bearing in mind, this app does not work.
Fancy Flight are cancelling us for this, you know.
But yeah, no, I've been doing good. I'm very excited for Christmas. More excited for the PQs that follow Christmas to see these lovely lots again.
I can't wait to have Ollie in my bedroom.
Exactly. We're going to be sharing the single bed, of course. And for those of you
Nexus only fans coming soon.
Hot tub streams and everything.
Absolutely.
Me and Josh have just come back from Dragon Ball finals.
Yes, we have. Indeed.
Josh was head judging and I was playing, and I managed to
Didn't you
take
get,
top
like,
16.
Crazy?
Top 16. But I'm very happy with the result. So
yeah, it was a great tournament. A lot of epic playing, a lot of crazy stuff. Honestly, it was like one of the craziest tournaments I've ever judged. A lot of tempers flaring, a lot of crazy rulings. Judges that didn't know.
Always the way with Dragon Ball.
I was given judges that didn't know the rules and like, absolute mess. But they admittedly didn't know the rules, and they were just I mean, we could do a whole nother pod on the Bandai
Everyone
Card
was there
Fest.
like, yeah, I haven't played this game in about 6 months. At least, so let's just see what happens.
All the judges included.
Round 5, 7. Do I draw? I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, but no, it was a cool tournament. It was sad to see Ollie drop out in the top 16. But yeah, I mean, these things happen and very competitive. Like the player base for that game now is very much like very dedicated players, right? Like there's not really many, there's not really many people that aren't grinding it out. And I think
He does have a very bad habit, I've noticed, of like dropping out the round before he gets something like worth.
well, I mean, Ollie's also a Chad because he plays decks that aren't meta every time he goes to a tournament. So you know that.
Except the first Star Wars tournament.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
I guess that was probably coincidence, though. You probably just liked that deck and didn't know it was like.
I actually did,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, everyone's playing
weird,
Boba Green, and I want to play some hand control stuff. Let me put Bodhi Roots in here.
Yeah.
My hand was like, your build was weird, and I remember thinking like, oh, maybe this is like some sick tech, and then I was just like, and then I played you, and I was like, oh no, it's just like different. Like it's not like designed for the mirror or anything. It's just different. But it was fun.
But yeah,
there was a guy that said, when it swings, pay 2, draw a card. And then there was a guy that says, when I play it, I discard a card from your hand. I was like, this is perfect. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, you're a value man, right? And that just
Exactly.
straight up spells value. So, but yeah, no, it's great. It's great to be back on the pod with you guys. And we got a little agenda we're gonna go through. Sure. I mean, I'll start us off with the first thing, and you guys can get to talking about it. Let's talk about the state of the game and how it's been evolving since I mean, you would say that just so you could try and sell your showcase. But yeah, no. Since Boba's been banned, the game has opened up a lot. A lot of new strategies and decks have been able to get a light shone on them a bit. But how are you guys feeling about the meta now? What's your thoughts on things since Boba? Well, that's a striking review to start off.
And me and Ollie need to go here because my perspective is more the perspective of like the watcher and the commentator. I haven't played in any tournaments really since like the new format. I've tested obviously, but I haven't played.
You have
so
been
I'm curious to hear your guys' experience.
You both took the same that got banned.
But you say favorite. We played. It's like it was just the best.
Yeah. Boba got banned, and Chris was like, "I'm out of here."
Yeah. Then I was like,
I'm not playing until
the
rotation. Until the rotation is not playing anymore.
I think I had the most fun with in that PQ season was Boba Red, and then I just got gaslit into not playing Boba Red in the final PQ, and then like surprise, Boba Red has like arisen in a new form in Django, and it's basically the best deck. I mean, it's like
but it's not
overall,
like taking over the same way Boba was, right? I think like the meta right now is the funnest that has been.
I will say I do disagree with that. I don't think like I think like the thing with Boba is it was an overpowered leader with like 4 very distinct decks that you could play out of it. Like if you told me Boba Yellow was the same as Boba Green,
but let's not like talk about Boba too much.
But that's what I mean. Where like basically they nuked 3 of the decks existing. They went, okay, these are gone. Boba Red basically still exists, arguably better in the form of Django Red.
Yeah, I agree.
And this base aggro deck exists, and now like okay, go design some new stuff. And I don't know what you guys think, but I think the meta's great.
I think it's awesome. The only boogeyman that it's keep coming back is Bosk Blue. Like this hard control list that I think yesterday I was playing with Joshua from Birch, and he was saying like that just feels like you're not playing Star Wars Unlimited, and I think like it's very fair. Nothing against who plays Bosk Blue, although I did lose my finals of the showdown against Rory, who was playing Boss Blue, and it just felt very just like unfair. I
mean, that's generally what hard control decks are, though, right? Like,
that's true. It's just
do you know what I mean? In any game, it's always going to have that that feeling of, they want you to be ground down. It's the whole point of the strategy, right?
I mean, what were you playing? And there was CAD, wasn't it? Or...
So yeah, I played CAD Tarkintown. It was a 28 players show down at the Darkfire Cafe. A huge shout out because amazing shop, and everyone who works there is amazing. So
I don't know if you knew this, but that's actually where Zach is a partner of that store.
really,
Yeah, Darkfire Cafe in St. Albans. Yeah.
St. Albans. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly,
Yeah, Zach's one of the main guys, and I actually work with the guys that you're talking about, the nice guys. So I'll have to let them know that you're giving them a nice review.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Name wise, I'm the worst, but nonetheless, the tournament was run really smoothly. We had 4 turns of Swiss, and then at the end we had 2 undefeated, myself and Rory. So we did a quick final, which wasn't quick actually. Game 1, I got him to 28, but then the healing is just like incredible.
It's impressive.
Yeah. But it was amazing because the meta. Sorry, Chris.
No. I was just gonna say. I think like the thing with Bosk is right now everyone wants to be playing mid range. Like no one, like very few people are on these aggro decks. Like despite Django being like incredibly powerful, despite Sabine still being incredibly powerful, like very few people are on them. So I would also be on Bosk.
I tell you what loves playing against Bosk is Mono Yellow Han. Yeah. My first matchup at the Premier event was it, and I was like, yes, this is my time to shine.
Like, when the best counter in the game to the current meta is a deck with a very, very high skill floor and ceiling, that like also doesn't have many deck building options. Weirdly, like it's quite a restrictive card pool for a deck that seems to have the most options in the game. It's a very weird thing. I've been recently.
I've just remembered we were talking about it before the pod, what weaknesses it has, but yeah, Palpatine Yellow is honestly a horrendous matchup for Han. Don't ask me why. It just, I mean, especially the one our friend Joshua built. Because he basically built that to hard counter Han, essentially. So
that deck is insane.
Yeah,
I played against Palp Yellow and I won, but it made me think, okay, I need to play this. Like, spoiler alert, I think I'm gonna be on Palp Yellow for PQs because
I think the other thing is that like Palp absolutely beats Bosk. Like you are just better.
Yeah.
The problem is, like you get into these.
You need to be faster.
Well, so yeah, you need to be faster, and Bosk can afford to main deck the anti-control mirror stuff that like Palp really can't, because its aggro matchup is so bad. Whereas like Bosk's aggro matchup is not as bad as Palp's, and like because it's Bosk blue, you can play your main decking top targets and stuff like that. So like intrinsically your aggro matchup is not as bad. Whereas Palp Yellow just gets completely blown out like on game 1 and then needs to fix it.
That's true. Yeah.
Palp Yellow is one of those decks that's insane in a top cut, but really bad in Swiss.
Well, no. Well, it is, except for the fact it isn't because of time rules where you just don't have enough time and you need to just 2-0 your opponent.
Yeah,
and
true.
I think that's the issue, right? Like, and again, not to take away from like, I know everyone's gonna think I'm talking about like the Birmingham event where like Thork won all the way basically through time rules. This is not to take anything away from him. Like he won legitimately, but it is to point out that like one of the risks you're taking when you take these decks that should be beating Bosk is that, well, actually, these games are my opponent's not going to scoop. These games are going to take 30 to 40 minutes each. I'm probably only going to finish 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, the best advice is to win game 1 and then slow down, right? I mean, I hate to say it, but that's the toxic that's the toxic kind of
but it's
situation.
But I think that's what's contributing to the position where Bosk is very much on the top of the pile right now, is that it slaps all the mid-range decks. There's very little aggro in the meta at the moment, and you can't really take Palp to a tournament because you're going to sit there and potentially lose these control mirrors just because you can't.
Hey, did Boba check that deck? Like, did it beat it pretty easily? Yeah, Bosk blue.
Yeah.
It was just too fast for it, or
we had a PQ where the PQ in Sheffield was one.
Yeah,
I think
Bosk was generally pretty fair.
Yeah, we interviewed.
Bosk blue.
It depended.
The Danish player.
Yeah.
So it depended. So like, Red would destroy Bosk, like it wasn't close at all. Green was 50-50, and you had to your sideboard was entirely designed to like make that matchup winnable. And
Yellow
then
was pretty
yellow
rough.
was, I would say, like 55-45 in favor of
Mm.
Boba. But like, in the aggregate, if you're asking like, did Boba beat Bosk? The answer was yes, but obviously they were very, very different decks.
Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting to consider which deck actually benefited the most in the meta from the Boba leaving. And I guess, I guess Bosk is probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest. That would indicate that it was the beneficiary of the Boba leader getting removed from the meta. So
I think it's
I
been
think-
quite
yeah.
interesting seeing the development of Bosk, especially because like Boba got removed from the meta, which leaves this massive hole of like, oh, people can play whatever mid-range deck they want now, where
and then
all of these
the
decks were
control deck
basically
goes,
overshone.
Can they?
And we saw like in the Birmingham event, Anakin was the highest represented leader and a
Yeah,
bunch of
and
stuff
didn't
like that.
convert.
Even though
get a
people
single
knew
play.
that Django was like the de facto best deck at the time.
But now you
So-
get so many different mid-range decks. Like you've seen,
Yeah.
you're seeing like even like Fennec, Tarkin Town decks.
Didn't it win a Store Showdown or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, crazy.
I saw it on
the internet
Power
went
9,
crazy.
But like if
Um,
you take a deck like Bosk Blue, which kind of naturally beats all of the mid-range decks,
Mm.
when people are super excited to play their favorite mid-range deck again, it's a pretty good meta call, and I imagine it has
Yeah.
a decent matchup into the Django and Sabines with all of
It's-
the innate healing it has.
I mean, it benefits everyone, right? As well, because
Still bad.
oh, go on,
The
Chris.
thing is, it's still bad. Sorry, the thing is, it's still bad into these aggro decks. It's still not good, but like I think Thork played 1 or 2 aggro decks through his whole run when he won Birmingham. Like, there's just not enough aggro decks, and obviously the aggro decks get
Yeah.
played on by mid range. That's just sitting there. Everyone, I think the problem is as well is like right now where we are in the format, we're in December. No one's playing this goddamn game, right? Like the meta is like very, very slow to develop at the moment, and so we're kind of looking at a large mid-range representation that isn't massively shifting because everyone wants to play the cool new stuff, right? Like, oh, I want to play
That's
my
true.
like, exciting new Quinlan deck, or I want to play like, oh, I've got all
Palpatine
these new rules.
Sidious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
we're
right? Like, I
seeing.
want to be playing these cool new decks.
I've been
and it's like,
playing
well,
Dooku for most of the past month, so
I mean, we're in
Again,
we're in a unique position, aren't we? Where there's not too much like hyper competitive tournaments, so
Yeah.
people are able to maybe enjoy the game more instead of being fretting too much about having to get that win.
yeah,
Well, exactly, yeah.
definitely.
But
Well, I
speaking
think
of
that's and CAD as well.
like being,
Good deck.
yeah, it's a bit slower now. In January we're picking up like pretty quickly, right? From January 10th.
10
Sorry?
PQs in
Yeah.
4 weeks in the UK, I think.
Wow, that
4
is
or
a
5 weeks.
So
that is a
I
lot.
might end up going to some of the ones that are on the same weekend, just making the trip and staying overnight somewhere.
Yeah. I've locked in 2 at the moment. I'm gonna do at least 1 more. I'm not sure which.
yeah, we should share our road trip. In fact, I'm sure we will. We will share probably on X. If you're not following us, drop us a follow. We'll share where we're gonna be when during these PQs, and if you want to come say hi, that'll be awesome. So yeah, PQs starting in January. Fortunately, I'm gonna be like traveling, work, and holidays. So I'm gonna miss every single PQ in January, which leaves me like February coming back and running
I don't
around.
think there are any in the UK. I think you'd need to go to Europe.
No, it's Stockport.
No, there's a couple.
Stockport,
There's a
okay,
couple at the
and
start of
Stockport.
February, yeah.
So up my way, you'll be coming for a tournament. Well, to be fair, you came up to Stockport once for a Battle Spirits tournament, right? And it was just me, you, and Carlo.
Oh,
Did
I
I?
remember you messaging me about that, Emmy. Was that the pre-release?
No, no, it was pre-release. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
remember that.
Jesters,
You
yeah.
messaged me. I think we'd been friends for like maybe a month, and you were just like, "Oh, do you want to come with me to this?" And I was like, "Buddy, I haven't played this game
Not
since
happening.
the...
When
No, but I'm really looking forward to those. I think like FFG have done an amazing job at like creating a massive amount of hype for next year. We've seen the first look at set 4.
Oh
Maybe
my!
we can.
Well, we're gonna come to that. We're gonna come to that.
Mm.
I am outrageously excited for that.
Yeah, we can switch to it, Josh, if you want. We can get into set 4. jump to light speed.
Yeah,
So
I was
we've
going to
got
say you missed a perfect segue. Then you could say, yeah. So Josh, we could jump to light speed, and
yes. We're gonna
Oh,
have to
campground.
yeah do a lot of those. But yeah, amazing, like super exciting news. I've seen a lot of content from some of the most prolific content creators on YouTube around the reception of the new set. Probably most of you have seen that as expected, there is a space theme. Although the prediction was, oh, we can deploy leaders in space, and it's actually not that straightforward. We have leaders that can deploy as upgrade on vehicles, and these vehicles can be in space. So,
I think that's a fair balance. To be fair, because
Yeah, so one of the things I like is I think it was on this podcast. I definitely remember talking about this, and I'm sure others have. Like people predicted piloting ships. I don't think anyone predicted the leader becoming the pilot.
yeah,
we need to go
yeah.
back and listen to
I
this.
mean, I have definitely spoken about pilots and
100%. Yeah. Like
because I mean
think
that
was
most Star Wars games have had that anyway, so it's nothing new. It's
Yeah.
like it's always been part of the package. It was just a case of when, but it's great that they've decided to push into it so soon. And the Star Deck products look pretty great. It's a new angle for Star Decks as well, right?
We don't have any more like start the game kind
no
of
more double
product.
two-player characters.
Yeah, we have single decks, which to be fair, I think are gonna be like so much easier for like new players or for us to kind of like convince someone to, hey, they're probably like MSRP at like
I think they're about
15
20 now.
bucks,
I think they're
pounds.
20 because they come with a pack.
Yeah, they come with a pack,
Right. Oh,
and the other great thing is that they're collated from all four of the first sets. So it's not just
Okay,
like
that is
it's not just like pushing the new stuff. They're actually building competitive out of the box decks that using staples, which I guess they're gonna get the information from competitive. Surely, I mean,
Yeah, they're gonna have 3
I mean, I
Vaders
would.
in.
that would be crazy, but it's not an
They haven't
impossibility.
always made the best. They haven't always made the best picks card wise as far
Yeah,
as
if you
what's
scroll a
considered.
bit down, Josh, maybe like we can see we've been introduced to just a couple of leaders actually. Just Django, we
Boba.
have Han and
Can I talk about this one because this is so funny to me?
Yeah, let's talk about Boba. We're already here on
Yeah,
Boba, so
It's so funny. So they were like, okay, let's ban Boba, no more Boba Red. Also, here's Django. It's kind of the same thing, but also have back Boba Red. It's so funny to me. It's literally like it was designed for this like Boba Red deck. I mean, like it's ridiculous. It's so firstly, I think we see two new mechanics on this card. So the first mechanic is the obvious one, right, where we get this deploy either to ground or deploy as an upgrade on a vehicle. Worth flagging, vehicle, not necessarily vehicle in space. So if you want to make your reinforcement walker a 913, that is okay.
oh wow, yeah, I never even considered that.
Those
Yeah,
heavy persuader
very,
strengths.
very, very niche applications, but I mean they exist. The second thing to flag is that on that, just very briefly, when you upgrade, it doesn't untap the unit, so it is a very hefty cost to like not just deploy as a body. Okay, the second thing is we have this new mechanic here of when you deal of dealing unpreventable damage. The unpreventable damage is your opponent gets to choose where it goes, but it can go onto either units or onto their base, and nothing can stop it. So
avoids the
um,
shields. Yeah,
yeah, so I think it goes past shields,
yeah, past shields.
and it goes past stuff like lurking tie. Like literally nothing can stop it. I believe is the ruling. Like even lurking.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Probably, but yeah, it does go through
Well,
shield. Doesn't defeat the
maybe not
shield.
lurking tide, but everything
Yeah,
else. It goes to everything.
That's
So
very
it's a very
interesting.
powerful effect, and I think the big thing for me is that is much more powerful in the context of an aggro deck than in the context of a control deck. Because obviously, what your opponent wants to do when they're against an aggro deck is they want to control the board and then like establish, like they want to be dealing with your things, taking value trades as much as possible, and then like overwhelming you and turning the corner. And by introducing unpreventable damage, you force your opponent to kind of go, okay, well, either I take more damage to my base, in which case I'm losing the game faster, or my opponent gets to kill my stuff for free, which doesn't feel great. So I really like it in the context of an aggro deck. So what Boba does, to quit yapping, and I'm going to have to get close to read this. So when you deal non-combat damage, which Boba Red does all the time, you may exhaust this leader if you do deal 1 indirect damage to a player. So when you play your P-38 Starfighter, your Daring Raid, whatever have you, and that's non-combat damage to a leader, to a base or a unit, so incredibly powerful, you just get to deal an extra ping. And then you deploy either as a 4/7 on 6, cool, or if you upgrade, you gain +4/+4. We've seen Dark Saber, guys, we know this is good. Or you and when you deploy this upgrade, firstly, the attached unit is treated as a leader, which means you have to rivals fall it or use one of the relatively niche amounts of removal that can target leaders. In particular, I note you can't waylay or things like that. And then when you deploy it as an upgrade, you get to deal 4 damage divided as you like amongst any number of units. So you get to do a little mini overwhelming barrage whilst getting a +4/+4. Now, obviously, confiscate stonks through the roof. What disabling
Disabling
Fang
fighters.
Yeah, I mean, this is the biggest issue with
These
the
are,
Power
very, very
failure.
The game's dead. They're
Power-
printing
power-
cards
power
again.
failure.
Mana.
Power failure is right, Emmy. So yeah, this is the biggest issue, guys. If you didn't know already, is that these new leaders, they count as upgrades. So if an upgrade is defeated, or say bounce with bamboozle, the ruling is on leaders, if they are removed from the board in any way, shape or form, they basically go back to being no longer deployed. So it's
I will say though, like,
high
people
risk,
have
high
started-
reward, right? High risk, high reward.
But people have started like pointing it out and going crazy about it, and I think one of the designers has said, please just wait and see what cards are coming out. I'm
Yeah,
just expecting that there's gonna be vehicles that are gonna probably have like protection.
Well,
or something.
they've already shown Chewie, right? So Chewbacca. I mean,
we'll Josh, we will get to
we will
That
get
might
to
be one of the-
Chewbacca.
Yeah, we don't have 3 hours, guys, so we
Yeah.
can maybe
But
like
also,
if you
the one
want,
thing I
we
do
can
want
go
to
there.
flag is, of course, like everyone's talking about these counters, guys. You can just deploy to ground and just have a 4/7. Like it's not that deep.
Yeah, it really isn't. But yeah, let's move on to the boy.
Josh, I feel like you should talk about this.
I mean, I haven't looked at it as much as I probably should have, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, well, I'm getting that product. I mean, end of the day, he's my favorite character from when I was a kid, and I've got an affinity with the guy, and I love it. I mean,
He's also very, very good.
yeah, he's extremely good. He's also in my color. Being cunning makes it even more appealing to me.
White.
But yeah, sell it to me, Chris. Why is it good? Tell me why it's good.
Well, okay, this is a mini Boba effect. I think that's the first thing I looked at it. I was like, it's not as good, but it's kind of comparable. Like you might be looking at Boba flip turns in this deck. So, the first thing to note about this leader is this has a ridiculous deck building cost. You are basically only playing with odd costs. That's a pretty huge deal. Okay, what are we getting for that? So the front side ability is you tap, reveal the top card of your deck, and then attack with a unit. Now, I'd be curious to know if you need to declare the unit before you reveal. I think you can reveal and then attack, which makes that a lot better. But anyway, if the revealed card and the attacking unit have different odd costs, the unit gains +1 for the attack. So in some ways, it's not that big a deal if it whiffs because you still get the attack. Like the action economy isn't lost, but obviously it can be a bit annoying. That's not a fantastic leader side ability. It's a pump. Fine. What do we get on the other side? Well, he deploys on 5 as a 3/7. That is the default standard, so that's good. And then when you use him as an upgrade, he attaches a leader unit. He's +3/+4, which is Dark Saber stats. That's good. Or reverse Dark Saber stats. And then when deployed as an upgrade, for each friendly unit or upgrade that has an odd cost, ready a resource. So, bare minimum, you are readying 2, right? Because you are readying for Han and you're readying for whatever you've just put him on.
I mean, to be honest, most of the best units in Cunning are 3s and 1s and 5s. So, the 4s are actually fairly cumbersome. So,
Exactly.
I mean,
and I
now
feel like
they're-
this is a natural fit for green as well, which is
And
then something
7 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And then like that's the ramp color, so suddenly you're doing this even faster, and that's crazy. But
And you get to
yeah,
skip
I think
4
like
resource, which is a clunky turn for an old class
exactly,
deck.
Yeah.
exactly. And I look at this and I go, okay, so what you're telling me is right. Like I played this with ECL, for example. I ECL in like a 3-drop. And then I deploy this onto something else I've got. I untap 3, and then I play a 5-drop. Isn't that a Boba flip turn? Am I crazy? Isn't that 8 resources on my 5 resource turn? And like, yeah, it's not as good as also getting an additional resource every single turn, but like, hold on a minute, that's still really, really strong.
One thing that I'm curious about is. Oh no, never mind. That's just ignore me.
It is harder to interact with as well from the opponent. Like it's
Oh, there's
hard
no
like,
there's no
wait.
image of Chewbacca, unfortunately.
No,
No,
but
no.
we
There is.
will.
So what you need to do is you need to hover over the card images because we need to talk about the Falcon. We need to talk about Chewbacca. I think those are 2 cards we have to talk
I
about.
don't think we have the time to go super deep into this today, but we
Um,
can.
let's talk
I mean,
about-
let's have a quick chat whilst we're here. So here's the new Falcon, because I mean this channel is predominantly about Han Solo anyway, so it's fine. No, I'm just kidding, but we'll be quick. So the new Falcon, another 3-cost 3/4, which immediately great stats. But you could deploy an additional pilot, which is really really nice, and it gets +1 for each pilot on board, and that leads us to Chewbacca, which we were talking about.
This card's so broken. This card's so broken.
So I'll quickly read it. It's a 5/6 for 5, and with piloting, it costs 3 to add as a pilot. And what it does is attached unit cannot be defeated or returned to hand by an enemy card ability. Now that protects.
And he has that ability himself as well if you play him.
Yeah, he has that as a unit, but in reality, if you're going for this archetype with the Falcon, adding that on and then flipping your leader onto it, I mean that's pretty broken. That's putting you at what 6, 7 with the upgrades plus 3, 4, and then 2 more, so 8. That's putting you at like 11 on your flip turn.
Yep.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yep.
Which is
And you can very easily do it on your flip turn, right? Like
we can
that's
just-
the insane thing.
yeah.
We're just gonna play CAD Tarkin Town with 3 bamboozle main. It's fine.
I think everyone should bamboozle main, to be
So
honest.
crazy.
Jeez.
It's so crazy. Like what
3
you can do.
Jabbas, 3 bamboozle main. We're gonna be fine. And to top it off, we have a new type of product coming with Jump to Dice Pit, which is gonna put us all into bankruptcy.
You've already paid for you've already bought 3 cases of this, haven't you? Really?
Yeah. It's already done deal.
I've even been surprised.
I'll be quite honest with you. I've always been a bit skeptical of these products. And to be honest, when they come out, I always have FOMO immediately because people start putting crazy alt arts and stuff, and I'm like, I'm like, well, I've been. My bank account thanks me, but my heart it hurts. It hurts. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna see me complaining about somehow these packs that have, I believe, a guarantee showcase in each one of them.
No.
It's not a showcase. It's a you get a showcase or a hyperspace leader. But I suspect
Yeah,
it's
which
a
is
showcase.
quite the variable to be. Let's be quite honest with you.
Watch me not pull a single showcase and like.
Oh, don't curse yourself like that.
You ordered Emmy 2 cases worth?
No. I think I'm gonna split. I'm either gonna split a case.
What with Frankie? That's dangerous, man.
Oh no, you're cooked. You're gonna get 3 cases, Emmy.
I don't know. It depends how the first opening goes. I really hope it goes bad, so
Frankie
I'm like
pulls the
hurt
showcase.
and I don't buy more. But if it goes well, then probably I'll get some more.
Nice.
But yeah, this is a collector edition, just for the what do they call the magpies, the ones that go after the blings. Yeah. Bling bling bling.
I mean,
So-
my hope is that it lowers the price of standard hyperspace because that's my
It's going to.
that's my
I think
bit.
this is the
Standard
thing.
hyperspace are like 20p anyway, so
The thing is,
Yeah, and
so this is going to drive prices down to the floor for like the average player, which is great. It means people are going to come into the game. I mean, it's not great if you're buying sealed product. It means that you kind of draft or don't bother, which not sure how I feel about that.
Are we
But,
gonna do draft with collectors packs?
Oh yeah, 100%.
If we win them for
Million
prizing,
dollar,
sure.
million dollar
I
draft.
think we can draft these. This is the thing. We actually can. Unlike Magic, I think we
Can you?
actually can draft these.
Oh my god!
Well,
I
that'd be
think we should do
amazing.
like subscribers, collectors.
Yeah, there's our 1,000 subs
Yeah, there you go.
thing.
and we have to rip the leader, and the loser has to open a pack and rip up like everything in it.
Oh
Any
god,
leader
yeah.
card.
That'll be
no,
Emmy's
no.
showcase. That'll be Emmy's showcase.
It'll be a showcase for like the card he's wanted most in the game, and he just has to rip it up in front of everyone.
But no, this is a great way to kind of tease what's coming for 2025. Obviously, we're gonna have set 4 going into year 2 of the game with Worlds as well. So a lot to come in 2025. Hopefully, we're gonna have a card to spoil to reveal of set 4. We could
Send us one, FFG. We want
yeah,
this.
we should
We'll
have
make the
one.
best reveal trailer.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah,
So we're gonna do a trailer.
We're gonna get
Trailer
Josh
would be
dressed up
wild.
in Leia bikini, Emmy dressed as Jabba.
Yes.
You don't.
Ollie and I
You
as
don't.
part
I
of
don't
the-
need an excuse for that. Honestly, like I will get my.
He does that in
Armored-
his spare time already.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what's going on below this t-shirt. Like I'm already halfway there.
It's a Wookiee business. But yeah, really excited for next year. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that has followed the content. We grew so much as a channel.
Yeah, and we've
since
done loads. I mean, we started in like May, right? So we've done 6 months or so. 16 episodes of the podcast, as well as at least 10 to 15 more
I got
great videos.
We got the wrap,
Oh, there
like
it
the channel overview.
Oh,
From this year, we got 644 new subscribers.
wow.
Damn.
52,000.
I'm not saying it's entirely because of me and Ollie, but it
I
does seem
mean-
like it's kind of
Well, that
me
was
and
the
Ollie.
difference. To be fair,
Yeah, I mean that was the
There's a clear correlation.
that was the
We
deal
made-
breaker, right? Like getting in the handsome ones. Like
we made 83. We uploaded 83 videos.
wow,
That's
that's a
amazing.
fairly good rate, to be fair,
Yeah, it's
considering
really good.
how part time we are.
Yeah. 1,700 likes, 641 shares, and 393 comments, and much, much more. So, a huge thank you to everyone that has been following so far. Drop us a comment. Let us know if you're watching, if you're liking the content, what you want to see more in the new year. What are you excited about in the new year for Star Wars Unlimited? And with that, I guess we can sign off for 2024, guys.
Yeah,
What do you
I
wanna
mean,
say?
yeah, just to add to your sentiment, just thanks to everyone that's watched our stuff. We do this for the love of it. We just like to chat about the games and stuff, and to have people getting involved and enjoying it with us just, creates that community sense. Really loving the Star Wars community as well, so looking forward to more stuff like that. But yeah, nothing else to add really, except for more Han content coming next year, guys. So get ready.
Josh has,
handle this.
locked me in the basement and said, until I come up with a tier 0 Han deck, I'm not allowed out. So
Yeah,
if anyone has any
He is not
ideas-
getting out of the basement, boys.
it's not happening, guys.
Mono Cunning Han best deck 2025. Let's go.
Yeah, just echoing what Emmy.
Oh, speaking of, a big shout out to Tim, who was playing Han 1 Yellow at the store showdown, and he came and wanted to say hi. So I just want to give a shout out.
Yeah,
to
no
Tim.
shout outs to Tim. I don't know who you are.
Yeah. I mean, where's my cut of the shout out money? What's going on? What's going on there?
Leisure games, is that what you guys play?
Legend, damn straight. The goat,
yeah.
the goat location. No, just to echo what Josh Nemi said. Great year. Had a fantastic time on the pod. Yeah, very, very excited for 2025. Christ.
Yes.
Another year older. Another year with dedicating my life to children's trading card games.
Yes,
And
sir.
looking forward to having you all with us.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Ollie?
Yeah,
What's your final thoughts for the year?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Been very excited to be doing these podcasts. It's been great fun. and I'm excited to go into 2025 with more top cuts than Krish and continue that run.
Yeah, we need to
Right.
actually, for 2025, I feel like we need to keep a tally of your scores.
We need a spreadsheet.
Yeah,
We
so
need a
yeah,
spreadsheet.
full on spreadsheet, yeah, which we can update every time.
No, it needs to be. It needs to be in like an averaged like ranking. Like
Yeah,
we
right.
Well,
don't
let's do a
really
rank
get-
between. We should do a rank between all four of us and see.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll-
We- next-
we'll have
this-
to.
I'm happy. I'm happy permanently being second. That's fine with me.
This time next year, we can do like an MVP rundown to see who was the best player of the
As
year.
long as it's not Ollie, I'm on board with this.
Well, we can all do
Everyone's
that.
gonna start counter picking whatever deck I take.
And you know what? I'm gonna call it
He's
now.
the LP, bro, the most losable fucking player we have.
I'm gonna call it now. The first video of next year is gonna be a tier list, guys. I don't know what of, but it's gonna be a tier list.
We can do the Nexus podcast members tier list.
This
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, we could do a commenters tier, a comment tier list, guys. So get your toxic comments in now, and
409. Oh, a common. I thought you said like a common cards tier list. Like we review the 400 common cards that are in the game.
from all the sets, yeah, and we'll talk about how the difference between hyperspace and standard art on all of them as well, and get really in depth.
And the foil as well.
But yeah, no. On that note, it's been a great year, guys, and yeah, it's been fantastic to do this, and looking forward to doing much more and going to Vegas and all that stuff next year. So,
Oh yes,
Yes, I've actually been looking at flights.
I can't wait
do
to get
it.
the fruity with the boys and lose everything.
oh yeah, and then play some cards.
I'll be old
enough
enough to gamble this time. Oh my god, let's go.
Oh yeah, you can gamble now. You're
And drink.
all right, guys.
Catch you
See you
later,
next
guys.
year.
We love you all. Awkward transition.